ya sempa 94.7 FM so ene bro nyabre ene yewomu no ye de afimpinu ene aduonu mienu ekogua ne sa ene yedru enano ne yetoso aduasa no na se ochina etwamu a na yesi afefufuro no mu se wate ne foforo ama ne nyonwanwa adwuma na ye na etim ene ye eti ebi edane na ebi abasa ye di bro nya iso de na se bibia tumisi Oman ne kwabna sante ena ofa ye dikan wote ne no Ekosiisen adwumadie no aso enie na ni owuram kura ne nwanwa ansa ene no timtibi anopa no atibi awia sa ena ye kono mesra wa wofre jan na ye gudwumadie no eso ye de asedama nnwuma waso ye mu ata ye chi afemu ni nyinada ama Ekosiisen adwumadie ene ye tumi ade abremu a na adawuruma enyuma bi na omo eta ye kire ye da wase papa obapa products for ye damasi Africa cream mackerel obapa products no ye kan na chese obapa sardine in tomato sauce bi ewom sada so na Africa cream mackerel adawuruma bronya ye mo omo ye se ye di mu be di bronya ne de jollof akansie no ye obapa rice no eye papa o manyi di first ya na chese na ebi wom CJ bi a wa humu no ka wunya wo ba pamu ni bia ende mu no ankasa na Africa cream mackerel so CJ wo be wa magi apo Africa cream mackerel jollof bi ani hono mo a wo Africa cream mackerel wo mu a emfa kwan mu jollof de eno ane Africa cream mackerel ti wodi bronya yi enye enkokonko ene adidi bronya no wo be jollof Africa cream mackerel obapa sardine in tomato sauce ye wo obapa fufu no so ewo honomo ena monogram adawroma bronya mu amoma ne maniska esika na bia kawiem wa mfa ba bia esese wo de fa obehwa na sika na chia na chese ayira fansisem na say ye monogram ena wudi sika mane no efa hode a ba bia wudi kobia emirika so na dru honomo eti wo abrochi na ne kra de ne yewom ne say monogram ne yetumi esende ema ne to wallet wa council ne to mu straight eti sa obekwa akoto santen bank ni aka cho na ne network na nya dwuma sa ha oni nyina etro atwa adaroma monogram eti se ukọ sendi scan a hu ba bi a wode be fa ege ko ban Ghana adaroma ene esika krabia emperimfo ahyeda hyehye na yaye eniema bebre na ye bo kokoso ema hu se omo a ewo mu a ne yafre o mame wo ATM mame pin code mame wei na ye yensa kire mesrew ATM mperimfo eda Ecobank no se ye mo wonka yese won frefre rough nka nje o se mame pin code mame ATM number debi ye nya ne sa obi afre wa fragadam you hu efrimo na eniema enkoye ma Rosters roofing systems we ni chance papa ye de boda so memfa borofo ntwetwa waso awie ne ewomu ane se chance no ye bone ye enchance ni bi wo ho no mo a wo de boda no so a emu hyehyehyehye wuntimi na Rosters enchance ye de boda so de madam ho no mo eyenwunu hit no enchi enyina dem ho no chance na so na ka ho no mo na chance no so no type a wo pe na ye de emma wo mesrew na ye wo allozing trusses no e wo ho we ane dade ye edika di guso ne de chance na boso ni nyina ebi e wo ho ma me mfa ntu wanim se awie yesi adwai eye afenu a ye womuo no a ye de kwa awie ye no ane ye bo nkompa hwa afemu nyina ane ahweye nyina sectors ahoro amamuo yi a akoso ye sikasem ewomu akwantuo ewomu apomuden ewomu adesua ewomu ya ho ne so ebi ewomu ni nyina na yesi adwa na ye de ho ensem abraunti ofe to so mienu no make us minu abema Mensa Thompson ewo fie ha sepa ohun Mensa Thompson Mensa Thompson ewo fie Atik Mohammed ewo fie say Atik Mohammed me enei Atik we womra na say Atik wogina he position no eye he Atik ba ye behu Atik say social commentator ohun o freelance politician Tiki die no etumi ede no ema tiki ma no eyeye ene ye nuanom a aka nemum abusia ye hyase no mesrem panimfo da Ridge Hospital ano say ye ka Ridge Hospital say ye ka Ridge Hospital na atase ye hu sa dan chenchire no esi animu no obia ka say oh Ridge Hospital ayefe enso ayesensa mampomu ayoa wuko bie so ane ewo munye Ridge Hospital panimfo ye besrem edan no ewo animu no nko ana say ne ewo mu ye edan no ewo akire no Ridge Hospital old building no nipa da ho no mo abusuye ka cho say hospital a wunyi ni entintan amanfo dem e wo ward no ho no mo ensuo 5 good days Ridge Hospital asem na me kan you building na ewo anim ha kese na ye de akuku dam ko ho ne de wo ho no mo neat na emom ne ewo akire ho no kohwe dan a nipa a oyaye a yesi ye beji ayarehwa ama no kohwe dan a omudam wo ho no mo ensuo ni ho nipa a omoyare ya nka wose nipa no soye a onsuo odi bedware se okọ washroom ensuo ni Ridge Hospital Ghana Water Company Limited impeding for minim se Ridge for no de kana matwa omo pap mu o se san yo but 5 good days nti wu busuani koda ho no mo a wo kwa no ape bucket ya wode kwasansuo ama wubusuani ne yede ahwe no really ya besrem panimfo da Ridge Hospital no we die ommo kura ya besre Ridge Hospital ensuo keke o enti me kampanimfo da ya sabia na no se ba ni se ensuo no se Ghana Water for kura na wo mo twetwe omo ho a minim se ye ntumi nya polytank bi ene esa niam ni bi wo ho no mo boho kura na nkaja ene mechanized boho ya amanfo tututu wo mo fie no enti hospital ho no mo no eye dan ya ye the National Health Insurance card no eba hospital de ba ye jiji sikan kakra wo ya sabia ho no mo a enti ye ntumi ntu saa ayi mechanized boho ni bi se ebi saa department we na ward we supply omo oh we di egu mani masedodo enye really ben and sanene ne mako hunu wo Ridge Hospital nya fanya akono eti mpanimfo amoda ya sabia na nue se pentima mento animu ho no maye ne hyen omo egu akiri ho no ye ka cho se hospital we wa Accra ha wunyi ni kohwe mpoma obi da mpoma ho efin pa omudemu no ebusuye ye Ekosiisen mame ento aso na me maminua mmemme akwaba ebusuafo me mama afishia pa
afimo beche
ni aba je so
boko de
yemi adumi wa
atik
wa
say freelance politician na say fofraba say me hu say aya atratro Facebook ni we che say ne ekoso bia no onye wadwen so obeka wanu atum no ayi bia to hobam no akoda kakra no waba megidi se ne mamu ye
oh yemi adum but as a chroma de ni bibi to say freelance politician
ene who di bi beba
no yaguso I don't have to create a new political party but once we are Ghana ni nko ade a it's a bit show adwuna it's okay
oh so can be
nti yebeko so aka the way I can na sa na
no de na
we're just doing what we've always been
doing. If say Mensa Thompson de ono ne de no de afa asepa ohun ahanti ono kasa na ohun baby e free ba sa asepa foni
but Ghana I don't need to have any affiliation with any association and organization to be able to speak. I hear him Ghana for bebre omo kasa omo ni eyibia once we are Ghana ni nko ade you've earned our right to speak media I don't think that necessarily you have to have any political affiliation and partisan affiliation to be entitled to speak. Yeah, once I hear from Ghana ni nko ade in fact Nangani scratch ro margin na ya Ghana for nti because once sabi you are convinced about your work and nko and ena sabi entiamra bia dia you are free and you should be encouraged to speak and we've spoken and we continue to speak yes oh yebeko so aka kasa dia yebeka oh yebechro so dia yebeko so achro na say nkra ye nche dem chro pisa but anyway kakra ye bitimi aye no eno ana ye no and I'm sure in the fullness of time Ghana for being who say we've all earned it as a collective. It's our right to speak Kwa ebimukum from 1991 all the way to 1992 this kabina mika mamwo eba in the Fourth Republic no. Not just say we've earned the right to speak, to express our views. Ebi sabi nyami beka no enya wode. But you should still be convinced enough to support my right to speak. You may not ebi nyami kano enya wode. But essence yeji kabina mikabe mamu atumu no. You should be willing and ready to support my right to speak, even though when me nyadwi ananya make an nyawode. But Ghana kamia is semikabe bi na nyawode. Instead of disagreeing with me probably on points of intellectual arguments and on points of facts, whatever it may be, no. But I don't think that's the way we can deepen our democracy. I say to me, a church without resorting to sa atemdidi. Ghana ya tra sa level no. We've gone past our stage now. The only way you respond is to insult. I think we've gone past our stage, no. Says here, dear, me know in there. If you have superior arguments to mine now, you're more kind and you're muti, we'll make a determination. But there's no space, in my humble opinion, for insults, invectives, and whatever it is that is offensive. No, says yeah, dear. I don't think there is space for it in our body politic. Nti yabeko so achre adwin. And mane nye obi so say, oh, kanina ye chre adwin no. Bibi sisa automatically ese ka ya nutum ana obi ye ne enya yenka ya nutum. Anybody at all who knows me, obi oni me bia from Legon would know this is my nature. So I mean, I've always been like this from. And some of my colleagues on the team says, yeah, I lost the next election partly because of this attitude. Oh, me manifesto cry, man, find those who came to vote. Because that was the time this subculture of monetizing student politics, like it was peaking. And I was like, look, student politics might die. And there would not be so robust body now ekuma students, you know. And true to what I anticipated and what I feared, no. Abim says here I student politics are NDC and MPP groups. Says here no. And it began some 10, 15 years ago. But one will say politicians they do that which is convenient. But it is up to you, the students, to make a determination. Say, but that was when Sika, not a order, but it was, reaching its zenith at that point. And to me, manifesto cry, part of it was used to condemn that, And people were profiting from that process, so it didn't help my cause at all. So it's always been me speaking my mind, regardless of whose axe is God. And
idea about so I share ni mu ne say ye kan kabi mami kabi amemu no ye hia nipa bi te se ne o kan se emfa ho ne amanyoku ote so se niema ne nkoyi a
you should be free to speak about it.
And sentrefo a e wose etumika.
Absolutely.
Ye kuhodo a ennan aban te se asepa ne other groups CSOs no so a omoso de wose omutumika se ye ka ne ye be ka ne china because me hu ne se no na
Jessica Gigi na o metimi aka. Ye see ye twi papa bi na enya agro.
Ye twi papa bi.
Ezo ko ye meeting bi se no ho akire no. Oka enye ye. Oh, see, you see, you can't be a voice of change when you are a part of the problem. And sometimes the CSOs are supposed to be they provide us with civil vigilance. Politicians, like I said, they do that which is convenient. Opportunity bank one day But civil society organizations, when say you make sure say it doesn't happen. But say muso mudi nyoma bi echi ekoye nyoma bi a
yeah
ebe chichiri mu ama muntimi nye nyoma bi. And then there is an issue, a very legitimate issue. Nanka nipa na waka ho asem no, I think is entitled to express the views on it. But they say can he be no there's an allegation say oni obi ko share na nyoma because it's disabling him from freely expressing his views. And this also a civil society organization na eno na abeya na wa ye ne yie. Se na beya da chi binti o ka wasema utimeka na wakoda obi antimi faso obi ambo. But you are half politician, half civil society there enye djuma. I mean, Gina, choose a side. Which one do you want to do? Who pursue your politics and also pursue your civil society djuma? Because me and you know, for the most part they don't mesh. Because in a politician ni no na civil society organization nipa no ekutia no. Enti wuntimi nya ne me no enye ye. Oh. Enti I respect Nkrofua omuye civil society ejuma no with integrity, because that's what we need. Politicians there look, a politician would go any length to win an election. That's their nature. They must win at all costs.
Ti ukra no awe wadwen say me pese kabimam kabia mamu no koso no se politician no hu ne say nipa we ye wo se me kana no tumu a
no ba na ogitumu a
ade kro de beba ne se wo gitumu a
you voluntarily given up your right to freely express your views.
No bi ti se mensa tom se mu de ni se me hwe se adwuma no o mo ye no enam kwan mu ye kipu government no e woni to say ade no aban ne ye no entwa yi a hwan ne beka because you could do stage bi say afedi obia ni aban ni ye bi obia de ye ni enya ni obeka se da bi ye nko ni say kakra na say ye wie
exactly. And then you mensam we look when so no look, it's not the job of a civil society organization to be praise singing. Emprempi ni meeting and say oh aban ye ne ya mombo na bazo and yet other than aban tria communicators other than aban tria we have a whole ministry in charge of information and yes CSOs for adwuma no DS is to point out aban baby okoyi enkoyi na what ni wo ye no ana na wa ye ni ye, but it's not for them to be all over the place singing praises of government. We might as well just convert them into government communicators ultimately. But my expectation is that the way I almost see three aban sisa, it should stay the same. And more moon sisa becomes soft and I decide to go completely silent. We've seen civil society organizations that emerged and says yeah ebi mu occupy gambaga no occupy one na buy what is here
occupy gambaga
at the end of the day
CJ occupy Ghana ne
omunyina CJ NDC buy no CJ virtually went dead. And that is why it has been unable to revive itself, because NDC buy na ye hu omo no MPP buy omuye ne enya kura muntimi nka, because morally you've lost it. The same way me try say if there is a change of government, whether Occupy Ghana for betimi di nkomo on betimi aka che aban say oni awuye di enkoyi, because se open sema ka aban we him de nyoma bibrisi na ye expect say omuso bekebi by anti omunka. And I'm just waiting to see whether it would revive itself after a change of government, because when you know credibility issues say if one government is bad, na another government but no more the same things now, the measure or the standard should stay the same. But anyway, wait there is just by way of preliminary comments.
So abusia sa afen we bie wafidi a Ekosiisen adwumadi esuni asempa 94.7 FM ya de afimpinu ene aduonu mienu 2022 ene ya de kwa wieye eneyi Ekosiisen adwumadi eso de ene twam a na chese ya wia no se a free new year no achi ye ba a new year mu ene yasie no ti ade foforo kra na ye de ebremo na ene ye hwe afimu ni nyina se obi ka se bibi nkoso wo Ghana na ye na wonte Ghana ye fa parliament a ye woni akoso e wo ho ye fa omayi sika sem a e woni akoso e wo ho ye for meya ho ne ne energy ye woni akoso ewo ho health ministry bia eti ena yatena ase no ye twa ba bia na ya hwese won say atiki sha ase no ya kan besi say ye woni pa bi so wo mayi mu a se niema ne nkoya ahemfo na wo se woka eti ne emi de se Mensa Thompson wo ha emi de se atiku anti na me atiki start me ka se kasa no wunya kasa ne ye wo se wo tro because se nipa nyina hu se ne afi amamuo ni koye the call for say yes finance minister enko omo a omo kan ya se na omo di aguro se say omo de afan you so omo de afan you Mensa official pa Meba say o microphone ha
just 30 seconds we dey mamen fa asida shronko Emma Ghana's ambassador to Angola a week ni a group of Ghanaians were stranded in Luanda and I happened to be around and it was becoming chaotic to the extent that now you have police for reinforcements and it was a messy situation because flight via Nanka said Ghana for free Angola ever Ghana no, was cancelled without informing passengers so people from Madrid, from London, from Lisbon, almost saw money na be good Luanda and cancel flights without telling them. Until it degenerated into a chaotic situation. And me frey ya inua kobna omahini. You know, hoping say or number. You know. Yes. No, there be the ambassador to Her Excellency Madam Mavis. And oka say me frey and oka chem say me frey Nanabi. Because Onuna is most likely to be one number. And with me Dan and Abi na my bona basu beam. When I called, he answered and then na me see on phone number but he did even better. Of Frema Minankasa and we did a conference call. I narrated what the situation was. And she worked the whole night and eventually they had to arrange a special flight for some passengers, on this occasion, me da mission in Angola for me da munyina ase me ena yenyina yeboma. Every Ghanaian was proud. Omunyina were full of praises for the ambassador and her staff. And the deputy head of mission, Daniel, who happened to be my mate when I was pursuing something some time ago. And these are the things we want to see. You are proud to be a Ghanaian. Everybody was brought, including Crawford, but profited from her intervention. Because I know there were people from Johannesburg who were coming to Ghana, but because of the intervention of the ambassador, they were coming for, I think they see concerts be Afro any Afro nation. I mean, they were coming to see how Ghana feels like during Christmas, but they also got stranded. But the intervention into Nyamiadum, everybody else was able to get to Ghana. And we are so proud of the work they did.
Ebusia Ekosiisen dwumadie suni Atik Mohammed na watene nka no misumidin e de akua boachewa yiadom mo frame ABY mejo so Mensa Thompson so e wo fie ha asepa Mensa fisha pa
yo me aba
boko de
nyamiadom wo de ache mami Mfancha kese mawo and asempa. I think this year you've been very phenomenal. Most I'm sure for Monanso throughout the whole year, bringing the issues that affected the ordinary people, and making sure that the people are well informed. He ever bomba baso, mecha minya atik so.
Monacho. Second by and I'm Nibio.
Yemino, Shaya, only Sikaba.
Oh, now, every Uzika, but some Zessica for Mudom Sicanity.
Me who's a mirror skin and count, a mirror Cassian
on Shadian or Onka.
You know who did Sikaba.
Oh, now Sikaba.
Mecha Miniatik, Namacha. More production crew, I think it has been a very phenomenal year. I feel I say a very eventful. not just in some but the most important thing is
Asempa FM.
Nyanko point me share so at the year ababi drew the end of it as some dream, and I think it's important that we express that gratitude. There are a number of issues I think this year for me made very key highlights, and if you allow me, I'll just delve straight into
backwa so na mamema CID akwaba CID de nanka wan hwe ya beka se we presini so amansia south nko na omo abankra chepani ye friend no CID we du fiase mamema na kwaba na che se ye kan jagumu an ye tumi koye nim kama abusia Clement Opoku Jamfi o friend no CID obeje so amansia na fo abanam sini wi wo hono eno no ono aba official pa
ebi wa afin kometo ye
boko de
obada da roma
o bantama nka na uye host yada masiso yada masibrunya brese de ofro obi na okasa o mi de brunya beto nchen kakra na madwen oman no ho a eti yada masese ye to nsa frem maba okra de na se amanse ton na ufira ode adu ha se yada se mensanti yankaja engum na ye se ne wo ka no afi ne akoso ne usomu.
Yes, it's been a very eventful year. It sounds so a very difficult year, and I think Ghana for are very strong people. I celebrate Ghanaians today because I think the issues are firm this year are still now minor. Ghanaians are still going about their business, working diligently. Among most state institutions, working diligently and effortlessly, even when their pensions are under threat. And a number of issues which borders on their sustainability as workers. I think it's important that we celebrate them. The beginning of the year, I think we started from December 2021 when I buying a day the 2022 budget. One of the things are now buying fiscal policy measures, which included the whether famous or infamous e-levy. We saw the drama around the e-levy, and we saw the spirited defense buying a mount here. Even when we realized the e-levy was going to be a nuisance tax. If you look at a Bainankasane policy of digitalization, trying to transform, most of the formal and informal sectors into a more virtual or digitalized, economy. When we pointed out, Baina said, "Well, policy any vision up to digitalize the entire economy, what this electronic tax rebate, it can defeat or affect the implementation or the realization of your own vision." Still now, by no thought I don't know Yamano. Omo mounted spirited defense to the say Yamomu e-levy, omuntimi nyakwan, omuntimi nye school, omuntimi nye say, omuntimi a whole lot of things. In fact, it was almost becoming like a joke because over that story e-levy was becoming the only money I buy need. Teacher training allowance I buy say one pass e-levy to ya.
Asempa FM.
A coin one pass e-levy mint ya. Health insurance claims one pass e-levy mint ya. So it was almost becoming like. So I think after all those scuffles, Parliament gave in and approved the e-levy for Abayin. We're hoping Senka, at least periodically or quarterly, Abayin will be providing us with quarterly reports on the performance of the e-levy. Until somewhere October this year, we started getting snippets of information about how the e-levy has underperformed. Revenue targets almost set 10% Romania. Already, Now, the impact on the economy, so on a buying-answer transformation, especially on people who depended on e-commerce. And school, depending on these online trade to be able to make a living. Also, their jobs had already been affected by the imposition of these tax. Momo vendors had their jobs also been reduced or affected because the volumes of transaction went down drastically because of the imposition of the tax. And you saw that the impact of e-levy on the economy was very real, very severe, and it certainly wasn't positive, it was negative. And again, when the tax did not realize its potential, then you could say it was a false start for the government. But in the 2023 budget, some of us were expecting Senka Aban was going to reverse, so that at least the damages that have been made,
Asempa FM,
and the negative impact on the digitalized economy, could be recouped in the next year. But Aban rather, sought to, keep the tax. So that was one issue that was very topical. There are other issues about this.
From near walking, say e-levy no. O many sikasem ye ntumi enru baby a na wo say ye dura. E-levy no ka ho bi. Because exactly. can be say e-levy no ne ka say aban se ne nsa nka wontimi ntua allowances se wo so otua
salary score no se ne nsa nka wontimi ntua.
Wo ka 2022 budget no. Se wo hwe budget no mu a ye said that kire say e-levy no say yetumi nya sika ye hwehwe a ne ye de beye. Specifically, ye say akwan ka ho apomuden ebi be ya nka say omamu ni nyina mamuo no baabi ya ye de e-levy na ebeye. But from the wo kan na say e-levy a ye nyanti ye ntumi anya hwe ye wo mamu ana.
You see, e-levy no, it was a revenue measure. Or brofum ye kano in the corners of yes, a fiscal policy. But fiscal policy a double-edged sword. You can use fiscal policy to grow the economy, you can use fiscal policy to kill the economy. Even though a buying uhia revenue, you should be more concerned about the net impact of a tono on the economy. That's what I'm saying. E-levy is a classical example. I think it will make for a perfect case study on fiscal policies in Ghana, because in PNP, we are so centered on contractional fiscal policies. We've not been innovative about our fiscal policy regime in this country.
Asempa FM.
Yeah, I said, identify a small circle of taxpayers, and all we do is to keep compounding taxes on them. But you see, the other side of taxes is that taxes also accrue with margins. And by margins, I mean the number of people paying. So sometimes it's not just the tax value, but the number of people in the tax bracket, in that particular tax bracket. And so, if you are able to incentivize the bracket in a way that a lot more people are paying now, then even a little imposition of even the tax in the tone, you'll still be able to make the needed revenue.
Yes, nipa bebre etua. Enti ne nka wo kan say na nka wo hwe animu sa fee budget no ebi anka be ye free wo from 1.75 to 1.5. And yesa ne wo kan ka yate so. Eti nka we no ne tua minority for so atumi agina omo na so ase threshold no so me enyim free ho no so ewo ho no mo eti nka amendment kakra ma mu say ye beka so they say the yen hwe ne ye kɔ ye nim ebetumi asi.
You see, inti on say in economics ne for be modeling. In PNP I expect that aban there. You see, why I said doctor your operations, you have no room for mistakes or error, for try and errors. What you're saying. Inti wait there for e-levy, for instance, you've had the benefit of the doubt to see, say, In fact, this tax is a nuisance tax. It has really underperformed. There's no contrary evidence to suggest, say, either a reduction or a reduction would make even the impact. And what you expect any government to do is to do your modeling and see, okay, when we increase it, when the tax was let's say 1.75, right? 1.75. Okay, what volumes of transactions were we getting a day? How much accrued on e-levy? Okay, can we? That's why we have experts. Can we model this out and see if we bring it to 1 city, how much we're going to make? If we bring it to 0.5, how much we're going to make? Because Udim said a lot of people stopped making a number of transactions just because of the e-levy. What I said, people started avoiding the taxes. You see, and we told Abai, say, during the e-levy argument, say, Obi a trader or take Kumasi. First, no offer car free Kumasi no aba nkran befa noma. Akwa ko ton Kumasi. Satan and Crankeska, oh, buy 50 cedis, oh, quite 50 cedis, into 100 cedis. Wafa, or bank crime, I found no manoko. But because of your friend is saying mobile money and intino, Zani Panonfa car man crime view. Or transfer the Sikano bank crime, near the normal go car money the cop. And one answer with tier transportation cost for a normal. Not at the cost of operations. So and then buying electronic medium now I'm a business I easy amount no the e-levy of 1.75 abetos enti say and sani pano or send it maybe 10,000 Ghana cedis abankranya the charges in kwa obitua a year almost 300 cedis the e-levy charges are telcos no so 18 ho a year fan say 300 cedis. Meanwhile, of a car, if in crime, Eba Kumasia, Nekai 100 cedis. Until when it becomes more expensive for Sanipano to transfer money from Kumasi to Nkran, near the normal balance, the person will risk it. Oh, yes, our transaction bill. Obefa car, obey 100 cedis at 20, they are far car for the Kumasi Bank, Befa Norman call. Just to avoid paying the yield. Because taxes there. You see, that is how people behave. People, the behavior of citizens towards taxes, it is well documented. Say, any imposition of tax, the market will react, whether you like it or not. For 1 peso acquired, so the market will react. It's an elastic market. They will react to whatever you impose. You should also be anticipating the reaction, the response of the market. What I say. So those are one of the things are buying NT, and they've carried it up, and I think it's going to be a bigger problem even in 2023 if you look at if you look at this. Okay, so tell me the man base that
the other issues no so ye baako e-levy fair no entwie homra na ye beba ne akaso abusia Mensa Thompson and I wote ne no asepa pani ya woda no basi prempe chro ne metumi akan why chro ne metumi akan o de se wo bonyo so a tim chro no kwan fe so na chese yakan ede amount empanimfo miensa ene wo fi ha sei Mensa Thompson asepa pani oda no ene atene nkanatik Mohammed e wo fi ha sei political commentator ena say dia pa na ape
I'm Ghanaian and no political commentator there Uchamika political commentators get paid some Uchamika
o de mi bia na nkoma e ho ne ye di say obi hwehwe ne den nti mi bia
political commentators get paid
mi bia na PNC general secretary oba no na asem a nkra odi agya me na maka kire wo nti de ye bia e better
ni PNC bi nti maybe as a friend and as a sister, yeah, fair. That's fair.
Clement ofofu jamfi so ofia I think so man na yen hwe e-levy na asem mutie Mensa de a wo kan ke wo say ye twam kura nke wo say ye yifiri onye sa emfa ho say ye did from 1.75 to 1.5 no still 2023 ebe ha yen so na ye enko ye nimu emfi ho na
yes, I think sir issue ya kan wasema but it bears repeating. As I said, we're just doing general review of NACI in 2022.
And then the budget no mun campaign for him so ya sesan niema kakra.
Say every policy, be it economic policy or public policy, every policy has a rationale. That's the first thing. Answer na what policy bebano. It has to have a reason and a rationale. The intina this no ever. What you say? Na I mean Ghana ha ye nyina jitum say our revenue to tax ratio no ever form compared to other countries in the sub-region. But if you want to up your revenue, there are several innovative ways you can do it. Na almost say His Excellency the Vice President has been very loud on digitalization. And very important say digital transformation is accepted and adopted into the way a man for you in Ghana, because that is what is in vogue everywhere else. And we share the benefits that digital transformation you cannot but help. I mean, you cannot help but to accept say Ghana say jitum na yemfanye juma. And some mobile money transfer is referred to as, you know, mobile technology. I mean, sorry, digital technology. It's a form of digital technology. And it say jitum say technology and the adoption thereof dia etimima or mind tumpondia na ye will be bisana say etimi buama adino ekoninim kwan bia so. And one of the ways you can encourage people to adopt digital technologies and kanka mobile money technology is to ensure say you don't make it too costly for them to adopt. And one of the ways you can make it costly is the imposition of tax on such technology. Once you impose tax on such a technology, the adoption becomes very costly. And once the adoption of a technology becomes very costly, you are discouraging Crawford from adopting such technology. And look, Obia Sabi, who has if the slightest idea about economic growth, will tell you, say, technology is a key part, especially for Crawford who deal largely with endogenous growth models. They omoji say technology nema yen economy etumpon. Na say you will be say boa in the growth of yen technology adoption no. Now all the tax abetu so first you discourage adoption. Needi kind no. Secondly, it also had the advantage of financial inclusiveness. Some momoyi and not just about helping people to do easy transactions, but Crawford said we need bank accounts. You are able to bring them into, you are able to include them somewhat into the financial space. And to say all the taxes too, sa new me so now almost is here the yendi the sikana na bekwa kutua nyoma ye tono. Na just say near ye pese ye no yentimi nya. But the other key issue is when you are imposing a tax instrument and a tax handle, you forecast and now you anticipate the returns. How much am I going to get by way of receipts? Until the tax bar, sika sign a minya. Omuba and omudi e-levy, they gave us a very huge figure. But what they forgot is this is volume indexed. So, sir, the receipts from such a tax handle is volume indexed. Until the more microfoyer transactions, the more obenyesika mibwa. But when you impose tax on such a technology, two things are likely to result. Near the kind amount for might cut down on the volume of transactions. The other one is they can find a way to avoid that tax. And no na says here an they found a way of avoiding that tax no into on send this come my entino or no obema because if like obe say send this come nipa miensa they be me sending ma no so send am mensa ye nya nsa memma miensa mum akoji sika no so sika nanka ye betie fi wo honom no we avoid it ebi ne nanka ono so betua no they avoid it enti the projection you did no would not come would not materialize because you forgot to factor the possibility of avoidance. And the other issue soon is among four decided people decided say me this can be man be timidia any share manage. It also affects volumes. Until at the end of the day, what they thought was that they thought that service was inelastic. Such that the tax to so cry Ghana for me by the end of the year. But they would find a way because we had grown to accept mobile money as the easiest form of transaction to no BIAB. And even if there's a slight change in the cost of such transaction, it would not change necessarily the volumes. They made that big mistake. They assumed that service was inelastic. And to some extent, yes, but you don't rule out factors like tax avoidance. What you must hear. Among for obi ni hope you can tax to ya. And Ghana for found a way around it. But question maybe some who say, what does it profit this country to gain receipts from e-levy and destroy financial inclusiveness and also destroy the edge and the desire for the adoption of digital technologies? No. And this is the trump card of our vice president, and rightly so. Sebi Obia, who has a slight idea about economics, Obejia to me say we need to go digital. Digital business transformation is the order of the day, and our cost of doing business form. Among Crawford are getting innovative, and people are expanding their businesses. Until when the vice president speaks about digitalization, meaning so if opese my economy no emubie opese tompon opese nkrofo bebre, you want to get them involved in the financial space. Why would you want to sacrifice these two important outcomes for a tax receipt? Sabi, you are not even sure dudu edibeba. These are some of the reasons why I said look, we can do without the e-levy. Say if we are able to manage wastage now, Ekosiisen system no. I am sure. Look, we will not need any e-levy. The amount of money a year shri because people are not doing that which is right. Amount for either they are under declaring and or move for coin boni bisu ma omugusu no clear without paying the requisite duties now. Yet me see enonko there will be no need for any e-levy. What you say? And the other issue is that there are other tax bases we can focus on. E-levy, look, I always say our fiscal policy authorities are lazy. We go for low-hanging fruit. We say it's easy to get. And the ones we have transaction they better. And the obrebi it's just like VAT. There are several. Look, never be a tax a free mo. But nobody wants to do the hard work. Obia pay the low hanging fruits. VAT say Okotonyoma we are ubitua. If you go to procure obi service, ubitua. Those obre nim. But among my baby, they are able to survive because every taxable area they make sure say the tax to so, and they make sure say omunye sikano pepepe. But Ghana had we focus on just low hanging fruits. Until e-levy anye jumano. And I am surprised. Say we are still maintaining it in this fiscal year. I mean in the following fiscal year. 2022 proved to us we should scrap our handle. And yeah, they are buying.
But with the little amendments or more year we no say 1.5. Beginning no cry there send in city and no me say near say we there ya send defeat ye near di can ba say 100 cities no more say sending threshold no afede ye year free me hu am say near but minority for no say ye ginam ye nti ase nti no ye tumi maintain unyi ni so ye beka nse near ye
I think it is not, in my view, and not necessarily about the level of the rate. Say a 1.7 and about 1.5. It's just the idea of taxing a technology that is as important as mobile technology. I mean, this type of digital technology. Ultimately, it's just the idea. Say, yeah, the two technology. You know, so that's the point. It could even be 0.5. It still wouldn't make sense. Ultimately, ye jai way nyoma bebre ebetimi enye sike free na ye de focus na to mobile money. So I think say idea emboa, because, and that is why I am very excited the Vice President has refused to comment on this issue. It speaks volumes. His silence is very telling. As far as that goes, no, only aban we nyadwen. Oh, I can.
Economic management team no one can.
You see, that's the point. He's just one man.
But part of the team.
No, I mean, I don't envy him sometimes, because obia dwene say una da no nti na ebe bibia chese unim hu bi ofuaso sanete,
because
but refusing to make comments on that show say enye bibia. You see, and my understanding is say enye bibia na, like enye bibia o che na adwen ho na ye de adwuma. That's why you said it's a team. But it's just unfortunate he's assumed to be the head of that team, even though if you ask me, I doubt if he's indeed the head of that team. Ultimately, so the point is so they still come out with a policy that is supposedly representative of the entire team's position, even though Onu as a person no Onu. And I am happy say he has stuck to his advocacy for digitalization by refusing to make any comment on e-levy. Given the opportunity, and Kobeka say adi we minfuaso because we di kanyaka. But essence a buying policy nintino, it would be also out of place to be seen. I mean, disagreeing publicly with near finance minister Diabana Asifo. But we share the posture. His posturing tells you say enyadia of waso, and I agree 100% with him. Look, I mean one more piece. Aban we chinchinachin your margin say muko suba for my e-levy beba, because they were unable to explain to us the benefits apart from the fact that the revenue projection no this much. Until yetimi di badi ebenye sika bebre the things they were nyoma no modi 2 e-levy receipts no so there. You got to banami bisam say na e-levy nko na just say it is one size fits all kind of solution no. Ye e-levy pe bibia so betwa na esi akwan ye de beye health ye de beye as school bibia. Me see everything was now hinged on e-levy. And once you do that false you can say programming no, I'm far who betro, because who do I want in ko go e-levy so I'm far no e ka hu bi na ye bri, because if we had diversified our thinking na we looked at other areas ebetimi nyi sika efrim me sure say anka pempenso ye dru anka ndro. But for me the bigger question is fiscal discipline. How are we managing our fiscal responsibility requirements and our obligations? That enjoins us to. There are some fiscal policy rules which we call the Fiscal Policy Act and our Responsibility Act, Fiscal Responsibility Act. Yes, that suspend this act because we wanted to spend more.
And your COVID ninja.
Look, COVID no bisa mi say sikana yedigu mono. What are the tangible outcomes? I'll be to make say, COVID time na ye expenditure we na yedi we ebre. Tell me.
Send them and Penika say, yeah, nipewu. We have to save lives first.
Untisikana yedigu mono, it was to save lives.
From the Mampanika is the statement and then Juma.
Meba.
Because nipewu ye jinipa.
Let's break it down. To save lives. And that found expression in what? Is it buying of more test kits? And at the end, saving lives, you have to operationalize, as it's saying. The end that you would define as expenditures were meant to save lives. Yet or more test kits.
Enru. COVID in race almost say ebi wo hoso ayetoye
ndro be na yetoye
ya ntobi
azithromycin de na man photo mo ade wo pharmacy. Oh yes, na sandro na azithromycin na any na COVID ni edro beti maka say unlike malaria utimi ka say malaria edro ni COVID na ni edro
ni actually vaccines no
vaccines no ba later o. So I didn't buy and nobody could discover a vaccine, and it took them time before they came up with vaccine. But I'm saying time I'll make his comments. That was the time I any vaccine biano. It was the time Sabi unya saya arena na umpa nye dinya ubi. That was when he said say it is better to save lives and than the end about economy. And my question is say expenditures are because you say sikapa and question me bisane say what are the specific areas are ye this has can kushemu you can say as far as expenditure on saving lives no goes no ni and amena me bisa say is it about buying of test kits and una sika bebre and we are talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, in fact billions of dollars. And are you telling me say ye di to test kits nko ana ana die na yedi ana kenkeni sa lean fishes are yeche enu na AS investing in saving lives na
enkontabuo nu say parliament omo sheda frɛ say empanimfo minister Ekosiisen manu
okay, health minister
Ekosiisen manu mebu nkonta ne nhwɛ kasika ya spending on COVID no okoye sa doc no ne wo kan lean fish nyina no ehun nkontabuo no obu ma hu se sika na bi kɔ hɔ
and the amounts of the ridiculous outrageous amounts ye ka say the kotodo kono no me dwu ho aminti ase. And for me that was the beginning of a problem. It wasn't COVID per se, but some of the expenditures we are supposed to have incurred no sika ni bia wudwuma na sika na nyam kwala sika o. And at the end of the day you spend that much without tangible outcomes to show for. Now at the next fiscal year you expect say will be bia beko sika no nyam sika o. And to boka na you should expect say ubetua hoka yamman say wa ko bobisia. And already we've always dealt with a debt overhang situation since. But the more you add to your debt, no, the higher your debt overhang. And your debt overhang, echre ukana udina ekosu no. So let's say medika 100,000 a fee next year na me be beka ho. It keeps going because what it does is say it only increases your interest payments. Because what bobisia ni be nti afi bia eso utuaka sika na nya udi okobobisia na eso utuaka and you try that era now you could repudiate debt because we mean to. We've done it in Ghana once, but we now live in an era we access loans and we borrow from international capital markets. You can't repudiate debt. Now from wedi enye ye nti eye de so tua na wo tua no wo revenues already ye so say your revenues no so na wakobobusia bebre nyuma wo de ye no so ye hu nanso afibia ese ye physical no kotua. What that means is you spend a greater percentage of your revenue. Between 60 to 80% of our revenue goes into interest payments. Now, so we are not just say you do 5 time you are under pressure. Time you are under pressure. So when you see kabum dia ye bibi aju sa ko bob sia biem. Uba it increases your debt overhang. It increases your debt servicing. The cost your debt servicing cost. And the time you are just trying to survive. But you don't need that. You need to have some fiscal space. Celebrate, you can decide, so, capital expenditure, we a bit boy, we a bit boy. But you don't have that space. Because Marco Bobby Siama says, minimum. Sikabio Benya saw the coachia. And there's the way we pay back our debts and say, it is through amortization. And the Amvan say, Afibiano, you pay part of the principal and pay the interest on that principal. What I say, even if you don't pay a fee next year, so near we brought ourselves to this point. Say, Bobby Siano, I remember some of us spoke about the fact that nobody is saying, say, Menko Bobby Sian, but be reasonable about it. The fact that you are credit with interest at time be house or now to the extent that it became an achievement, say, when we float bonds and they are oversubscribed, it's an achievement. So it's because we are credit worthy. Internet team call ICM. Your call international capital markets. No. Oh, amount for subscribe to our bonds even over. Obi be bo busia we ni agi say ye bo busia. E na yen say di che o.
Yo.
Obi bo busia we ni agi ama ye ne ye quiet me bo busia. Enu ni enne.
Etina say na the ye was enya kwan foforo a ye befa so ahwe ye sika sem sense ye beka say the bibi ti say e-levy e na eba. Mesa ba ho ne ahwe na ye koyanim no 2023 ye behwe de ahia Dominic mo eyi was ye kobo nya botere ma me na ya hwe afimpinu ene aduonu miensa bibi ti se ne ma hye badwafo eye se eniama ni bi wonu ma ya kate no omkra the terms omde be ne se ya fly ne down ya shoot no down na ya hwe se enu ye part of the solution say ye kate niema bi ana say send there was here no honorable CID e wo ha say honorable so mame wi ana ye twe ye ho aba na ye call fan to so mienu
everywhere medawase na machia we senior some no ba share that the economics no jana Thompson so sa umbe ka economics do funa de kwa ha no de kwa so ya nya economics bi ene e ma mo muti jom no ne we bisa say na brofo a ICM ne amortization ne nyama sinatiki kekan no kwa ne say ebiwai say amanyoko bia ye to abama wa na obidi oman so a ye de bibia hyewsa japade ne ye kanyina wo na wo hweso ti wo bo japade ho ban esa pa japade ni bia be ka ho no na ka ya bonsoso utua na iti anye ni se bi enya adefo me fa ne se
Asempa FM
na di bako nipa menu awoma bako esikani wo adefo bako nso onibi nti omianani na bojabojwa nkakra no otini mo rem no de hwe ne ba school the same way na nipa kro no so no so wo sikani bi no na se sikani ni ba no so be hwe ne ba school nti bia me ya pamu school fees na me kwa akwagia me ko me ma me yo kon du ho a ni bia mkotane nchen kakra wo kantamanto na akagitia na oton nyoma kakra na faso be baso no na me de kwa kutua bia ebi wai so utie odefo ne wo to odefo wo nko ade enya pamu school kwa school fees ya mpamu bi yise bia obeso odo ho fraye na ne ko wo se ya mpamu bi now asama me kan nyina ne se wo hwa Ghana na wo hwa o man bi ti se bia UK England and I say USA inyina ya aman wo so aman ne bi di bi achi ntini e wo super hwan ne super powers just wo mu kom ho na uko UN assembly meeting kura wo ma tie ni mu ma tie chiri pa nti ye hyehyɛ na ye Ghana no ye hyehyɛ ye no ye ntimi ama ma ye esikafo ibi ye frɛ ho anase din ade ama ye developing nation the developing nation the EBY abribia no so tie se de brofo ne kana esa afi na wo tutu anamo se opese osusu wudi yi ti abribia na ya na akoye se o se utimi ye capital projects kakra because ofa krobiti se o mind biti se bia America nya afi na bi oba be si hospital president the agenda 111 aba o ye ho adwuma ye ni agi ono no nwene no ho bi ono dwene bibi fofo
Asempa FM
nya afi na oba be ye some interchange ana N1 ana N2 ama yen na ama mine ni agi fi so musu wo bibiri ye ho musika no so mojom ni ko baby fufuro ti ye dwene the basic ones e bebo ama ya system be tumpon o mu no trasa basic so ebi wa okrobi ha okoso kra chip compound ko bi no mpona ko benya health center. I mean, this is the situation we find ourselves in. See yetimi te asiesa afena ye beka nsem ni now yawo opposition no ya kan sem bebre se monfa Ghana no mayen na yesere mo de maya ye ba ye be ABCD nsem maye kan ye no na to Ghana fo asum na Ghana fo gina so de to abamaye ti ye ba ye no na wo say nsem na kan no so ye ba na ye bedi so ne tim de ye adwuma je wi a hwe free SHS kra na ye kan na manfo se nyi even in opposition manfo kaya ye ba power me bi sa free SHS aye ya na se nyi aye ye mani ye nananom ne ye offers no eku school now a free 1992 ba me fa the Fourth Republic ebesi 2016 December everyone need free education free SHS or na see the whole Ghana kwabi eku school kun free nti so hu se no so wa beka e car ye bebo no ayese bia wa ware foforo na ono yire ana onu kunumu nyanwo na mfie mienu achi moko wo ya mawo mafo abum ategu also hu se na fie mu di 100 cedis a day enkra fo na ba beka ho ategu no enkra fo no yire nkwa akra ntimi hwe no to so akofa wo yire ma me beka ho wo ma me so ti aso so no so ba mu nyina be hwe no tu ma bedidi o yire ma me bedidi enkwa no so bedidi yare akra ba mu di ana asemato se wo high single room so kopɛ abia 3 bedrooms behind na utinam nti ano ba beka wo cost no ema ano so o de bobra no nti from 1992 ba be see 2016 December 31 no and as I'm say even January 7 2017 say ni ho ti free education e ba no e de eka aba beka o man no so ye debt portfolio no a okọ say yetimi hwe na ye number 2 e san say ye free nti no ankura na ye kɔ no se na omo ye tena obi a no wa wie school kura atifia wa sikanti wantumi akɔ ono so kura ba so obekɔ school ni bi wetima ka so man nkɔ o so man nkɔ enti na sinatiki ka say ya bobosia ma ye debt portfolio kosoro e no kure but sika no ye de e bi na maka yi over 2 mame admit say ebra e de e-levy a ye ka ho asemu bai I think say along the line the communication didn't go down well. Me say to your boy say ekire mu kire Ghana for ye ana yesu tie futuo bi along the line anka bi asa delay si ye ba mu ni ade because at a point na ye dey call for na ye say 1.75 but I think yes ana amount for 2 years for say Kenyan 1.5 is that not the case I think 1.5 no kwa no ye je ya aka some months ni period a delay ya na nya you can be a boy because it me rake in more revenue na yet me e de echechire o man no now the whole idea was not I said na ye pese president be can say ye ma ye kura so na de bia ne nam amanfo so na ye siriska na was say try ne so ye de ho kakra enti ye hweye na ye hu se no se ye timi gije e-levy na ebeboa reki in more revenues aba ama ye nyoma bia ye pese ye ne de ya hyase ye no etimi aboa 1.75 1.75 who argument ya the see parliament ye ni musem koba ekire gitum se be ye 1.5 ai buy na ebre ni bi kokra da afi buy 1.5 no e san say na ehun sama aba dos ntino ebi wa na amanfo bebre na na mimi sika egu me fon so ana ana na wo se eteme ana na wo se everywhere enura because sesa me car oil na me sesa ye no na bini sika wo me ho am so ma me sende mbi so wo se mbacho mobile money wa ha o se ha obi na me se me sende ama no ti me ode number na me bubo se mbe sen na o se boss mbacho ya fa ebi tusu na me se de o kan na Matias ye power na me so me share that again na me fa bi nto so sesen o se da bi se mi ko yi a ye betime ye beto se o se betin 8 cedis because na me send less than 800 near 760 or so and na wo wire adwuma wo give me 760 cedis 760 no wo workmanship that so nko a 100 cedis and you say out of 100 utia 8 cedis ama ban na ban dia ye na e dia ye o man ya wo so wo mpere say me say 8 cedis eto small and me fan to so when I explained to them there o man ko fo e wo kra ka say oh na say de boss yi kai de nkanu anu no cause wo giska dia o say wutu
me kra de me ka say wo be ka say o ka say onye because ko yi supermarkets ni we nu bia they tell you say nya cash amenyu me pe cash menyi we say no enu nti na so tie atika nka say mba bi no o ka say ade no ye no ye gigegige kwan da ho ye say ye hia sika no but ya ye gigja kwan da ho a se nipa ne ka say me avoid me ntua bebre enti nia wo pesa wunya no wunya enti na nka nwosa modi mani hwe ba bi foforo say Ghana fo aka the size of the government ye reduce no kakra roto senior moye mudi mirika be ka kire ye say
I mean you see roto likwa me do ho am tell you
that no mo kan
already we are struggling with revenue so we see revenue we dey so nti yen for between 70 million let's go with his conservative figures between 70 million Ghana cedis and zero.
Dear him,
I mean what kind of
me asem way da ye kan budget no that very day ye kan budget no make 2022 budget na enwumre me ye burning issues ye kan budget ni wie ye any be 5 hours na mte say ye say entokwa si ba bi agigi toast na dan ya ye say minister ne se mun sori mfiri wo say ya ma ye nyam pass budget no kra ne yam pass you ye se mun sori mfiri ho ye pesika but wa wo de ba bia wo kan besi si ye hia sika ye de be ye free senior high you so kra no and the parents ni be ni a lot of people are calling for say yenye review e wo ho
any issues no kra you see I think said this free SHS issue the pia ya kan wasema is overflogged overflogged just say a car abanya bo from 2017 on free SHS to Sami. First year, Aban spending 400 million Ghana cedis. Second year, spending 800 million Ghana cedis. Third year, spending 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Fourth year, spending 1.2 million Ghana cedis. It is less than 6 million Ghana cedis. 6 billion. I mean, in terms of it's less than 6 billion Ghana cedis in the last 7 years. Mean about oil revenue come at 60 billion in the last 4 years. Yeah, bulk position over 220 billion.
Taxes and quiet. No, of course. Taxes is an expenditure item, but
the free SHS conversation. But I don't know what they are talking about.
No, I'm not sure. He's trying to say it's just an expenditure item. Agreed, but that cannot explain why Jacob.
Everywhere. Said Sinatika Buame on that. Everywhere make kasa. No say make kasa. Me say ashase no. Yen kasa imuno. Ankoyi. We must admit.
And so I made the Sawajia too. Because Ghana for Shasia, ye did dance and a more quiet town hall meeting.
Wasted our money on town hall meetings.
More information ministry. More information ministry. More government communicators. More or more yetu or moka ministry. PROs and sana yes special assistant.
And almost our own for this ministry.
When a human institution, mistakes are bound to happen. Yajatum. Ashase no communication now. They said the moka rotos ho sensem ba ye ni ade nyina. I mean from to I quote at its words from 70 billion 70 million a year.
No, a month
70 million a month to zero. I mean
multiply 70 by 12
akayanye na kemfa no so emfa enye but I mean fast forward e dey na ye I know na what say yetimi hwe na yehu everywhere can be car obi nti maka everywhere dia no was maka obi wa ra fe na no everywhere again na ye as aban ye na ato abama ye mfon so aya no yeguso ye ana se yeguso ye dia ene na ehu ba se yesua bibi afri ye mfon so aya no ho na ye dane nyoma ni dia na yesi ye nyoma ni ye tie futuo no now can be say e na ban eye the size of the government the one everywhere we dey mean aba no off air metimi dey me pay slip I dey actual aban president directive Obama all appointees ya slash your salary so by 30%.
Ave dey yetu amoka
na 70 na aka no 70 na aka no
30%.
No, but there are others. The point is not about Mudia, you are statutory appointees. Mudia, Abayim cost about so ye MMDCs. But there are other appointments. Ministers be Obi or the deputies at 3.
Oh, no, this time them the deputies no they are cost right 2. This time we are deputies be at 3. But I don't know say they are more canning. But this time deputies they want
MPA. The act doesn't make provision for deputies. Or more mienu
deputies in coin.
Mienu. Obiaji dine. Obiaji ka. You see, you can't huge and there's of course not even I don't even want to say correlation, but there's actually a causal relationship between size of government and economic growth.
Of course.
There are empirical studies to that effect. Say the bigger your government, that because it increases the cost of government. Sika ye kojika nkitinkitina na ya sabe chairman crofo. Ebe den na hunchi.
Everywhere I say akatua bi wo ha. Bosome so ntimi ka se wuntua. Ti say obi aye adwuma na bosome aso. Obi ye o
go fund the as
obi ye o deputy minister, obi ye district chief executive municipal. Ntimi ka se wuntua nka. I mean you will pay. Anything na more can the size of the government. Na me so me ka the aban no aye apart from that fuel allocation and nyama nyina it eats into aban no sika ono so be say within a month or a year because calculating no month bia no now calculate here and so aban no ahwe ate so even travels
you free ho you
no
what so
because honorable king say ministry ni bi onom kra ye say ministry no ye free ho zongo ministry ye free ho ye we na ya san akote ne secretariat wo mampani atena ye say ye ministry be ye secretariat obi da no nipa cross so say betua ne eti aniema ni bi wo honom akwasi kwo so gina nkwantia wahu eti ye kan si ye timi esi ye bo se ye pese ye te so a ene ne esi ye bo se ye te so ampa na emom ye ntutokuro ha ne ye de abewura ha sei enti hono aboe afi ebesimu no unim mi twa me ho abasesi a ne ahwe se ye koye nimu no se ne wo kan so aban no aye bibi die na aban no aye anti 2023 ne ye beka so afi a yesimu e die ade foforo a ye behuni ye ba sesi a yo mi enkomra ne meto aso Ekosiisen ma die su ni ye twa ho sesi aba ye ba ye beto aso